The next section of the Edora Crilley Report will be focused on Hugo Chavez. Hugo Chavez is the current president of Venezuela and was elected in 1998. He promotes democratic socialism and anti-imperialism. His ideas basically represent the continuation of the Bolivarian Revolution and the Marxist writing of Figueroa. His foreign policy nowadays is focused on Latin America. He intends to economically and socially integrate all the Latin American countries. Some of these foreign policy acts he's created are enacting bilateral trade with Latin American countries and reciprocal aid agreements. In regard to the powerful nations in the world, Chavez plans to use his oil card. What I mean by this oil card is that since Venezuela is the largest oil producer in South America, many of the oil exports go to many of the largest nations, including the United States, United Kingdom, and such forth. So, to play with with Chavez, oil basically influences the decisions of the big countries. And more recently, August 15, 2007, Chavez called for a constitutional referendum. Basically, he wants to make changes to the Constitution. Some of these changes are an end to presidential term limits, and he proposed limiting bank autonomy. However, many of the people of Venezuela and people of the government find that such changes are unreasonable. Chavez, in hopes of getting these changes to the Constitution made, has threatened to cut off oil shipments to the U.S. if they ever criticize such constitutional referendums. However, in December 2007, the referendum was defeated. The election had 51% of Venezuelan people against such changes to the Constitution. In response to this, Chavez has decided in 2013, he would step down as president of Venezuela. In the next section, my friend Jason Newton will come in and we will discuss more on Hugo Chavez. I'd like to introduce you to my guest speaker. This is Jason Newton, and I have a couple questions for you. All right. What do you think of the nationalization of Venezuelan oil?
Well, I think that it only showed that Marxist dream is alive and well. I think it was a horrible mistake. I think everyone in the world should be threatened. Hugo Chavez is a whack job, to say the least.
I agree.
To have him in control of such a large oil supply is detrimental to the world economy, and he's only going to use it to push his socialist goals against the rest of the world.
You're basically using the oil card.
Exactly.
Also, what do you think of the media coverage of Chavez?
Overall, I think it's been pretty well. I know Fox News has been focusing very well on Hugo Chavez's troubles. More than I could say other news stations such as CNN or ABC News. Most of them try to report from I know it's goal to report from a neutral standpoint, but you got to understand just that some people you need to report the truth. And I'd say Fox News has done a pretty good job in showing the true Chavez in all his form. Recently, today I heard for the first time that he admitted to chewing cocoa leaves, which is used to make cocaine. And I haven't heard that on any other station.
Exactly, right. And in response, most recently, the King of Spain, Juan Carlos, said to Chavez, "Why don't you shut up?" In Spanish, I mean. What do you think of that?
I think it was appropriate. Here you had a guy coming across the Atlantic, literally bad-mouthing former Spanish Prime Minister Jose Aznar, calling him a fashion, thing like that.
Right.
And the king was just defending his countrymen. That's what he is. He's the symbol of the Spanish people. And I think the majority of the Spanish people supported the king's decision, and I believe it was appropriate. I think Chavez was way out of line in his criticism. You don't have to support a positive leader, but you shouldn't just go around bad-mouthing.
I agree. All right, I'd like to thank you, Jason Newton, for your time here. The next section will be on Vladimir Putin.